Welcome to the NDE World Podcast, where we explore the magical, mystical and spiritual world of near-death experiences. And now, Ashton Lewis and Daphne Lynn.
Welcome to the NDE World Podcast. I am your host, Ashton Lewis. And this here's my host, Daphne Lynn. Hey, Daphne, how you doing today, girl?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Well, it is another day to be able to come out on the show today and be able to share some really cool information with everybody. We got a really good, awesome subject today. And for those of you who are new, welcome. And those who are returning, welcome back. And as always, we'd like to put a little plug in for our website here in case you guys aren't familiar with it. Please go to NDE.world. That's
NDE.WORLD.
For more information about our podcast and what we do and all the topics and things like that. Tons of episodes on all kind of different subjects. Be sure to go check out the website. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's subject, okay? But today we're going to be we do so many different types of things on our episodes, but today we're going to be doing what we do is we visit a lot of groups out there that we're part of.
Different platforms.
And different platforms and things like that to gather different information from, questions that people are asking and searching for and, comments from those who have experience in this world of, near-death experiences and things. So why don't we, if you don't mind, Daphne, go ahead and read the question and then we'll just go ahead and jump into the comments just to kind of give some insight and we'll comment on the comments. How's that sound?
Perfect. Okay, so this person says that they had an NDE 4 years ago. I used to go to church, but I feel that it's off, quote unquote. Churches say spiritualism is demonic, and so are vibrations, mediums, crystals, etc. But I feel that it's comforting. I want to get into those things as when I had my NDE, I didn't feel God was what church teaches. He loves us all. We are all connected. Nobody is any better or worse than another. I just feel it's better to tap into my chakras and meditate, and church just doesn't do it for me. I leave feeling confused and off balance. It's hard to explain. During my NDE, I felt my soul vibrate and leave my body. I had some premonitions before I bled out in childbirth, and they all came true. I feel it's a gift, and churches say that it's demonic, and I feel so depressed about it. I'm far from evil, so why is this gift I have bad in the church's eyes? I sense loved ones that have passed away, and I'm told this is the devil. I just don't think everything is what the church thinks and claims. Not debating or anything, I'm just confused, and I want to tap into spirituality, but I'm scared because of the doctrines.
Okay. Wow, this is let's break this down, Daphne. Let's break this down because there's a lot to cover in this, and then we'll go right into the comments. I want to break it down because, there's a lot of elements in here that maybe some new listeners may not be familiar with. So, if you're just reading this here like it all came out, there's like, okay. You've got stuff like, well, like it says here, let's kind of break it down. Okay, we have a person that had a near-death experience, okay? And they used to go to church a lot. However, when they've had their near-death experience, which happens in every case we've ever heard like this, it took them to a whole different level of consciousness and understanding of the afterlife and God and love and things like that. That's kind of maybe pretty much contradicting from what maybe the church. Now, when we say the church, more specifically, let's just put it out there. We got to keep it real. We're referring to the Catholic Church because the Catholic Church is the mother of Christianity. They are the one who created the Christian religion.
And the different denominations came off of that. Right.
Yeah, she is the mother church from all of what we call Christianity.
Yes, that's actually covered in the Conversations of God.
Yeah, so when you hear people talk about the church saying this, well, the church has created, the Bible, Jesus, the God, and so many other things that has become really just mainstream around the world, but has really, honestly, not saying that it's done bad, because it has done a lot of good. Let's put that out front. But there's been a lot of damage, destruction, harm, hurt that has been built on that particular system, what we call the church, the Christianity in specifically. But anyway, the church, according to this person here, says that spiritualism, okay, there's a word. So what is spiritualism? Daphne, I mean, I know what it is, but I don't want to hog up the microphone here. Do you want to jump in, chime in? And,
yeah, just learning of spiritual, esoteric things that the church does not teach. So, it's enlightening. It's uplifting. It is the going deeper than what the church teaches.
Yeah.
And the reason they say it's demonic is because if you're enlightened, then you don't need them.
Right.
They lose money. They lose membership, the control of the masses.
Right. Yeah. Good way to put it. So spiritualism is dealing with actual spirituality or spiritual things.
You are a soul.
Whereas in contrast, religion or religious, then you are following a certain belief system, certain religious framework that all, especially Christianity, traces back to the mother church, which is the Catholic Church. So just kind of put that in there so we can understand where all this is coming from. So they say that the church has said that spiritualism is demonic. Okay, what does that mean? Well, for the most part, people believe in demons and the dark world and the devils and things like that, that if you do these types of things, if you try to find your spirituality, which is who you are, the God within you, okay, the church has a way of saying this is works of the devil. This is demonic.
It's going outside of them.
It's going outside of their, yeah, so they have to, it definitely tampers with their control. But it says, so are vibrations. Now, what are vibrations? Well, everything. There's nothing in existence that is not a vibration. That's actually one of the major principles of hermetics is the law of vibration. Everything vibrates. Okay. Well, why does the church want to say that vibrations is demonic when everything vibrates? So you really need to kind of understand the mindset and the frame set of religion and what it has done and the control it has over the masses,
Most definitely.
Mediums would be these people who claim to be able to communicate with those on both sides in the spirit world, something like that. Daphne, any comments on that?
Yes and no. I mean, yes, that, there are people out there doing it. There are the spiritual gifts of people being able to do this. Then you have those that are the fakers. I mean, so you have the balance of the good along with the ones that are out there just for the money.
Well said.
So, but going on with even the crystals, I mean, that all these things the church says is not good, that you don't need to be seeking and doing any of these things because it's demonic. But this person right here says that they feel that it's comforting to them.
Right.
That it ties in with their NDE. Two things are coming to my mind right now with just that first part of this person's comment, the Gospel of the Nazarenes and the conversations with God. There in the conversations, the chakras are talked about by God, the source, in the book, that it is your whole body. You're composed of raw energy and clustered around 7 chakras. And those 7 chakras, when opened and flowing, let you become whole.
Yes, lets that God energy flow.
Yes. And then from the Nazarenes, Yeshua himself goes into they go about different places on their journeys and learn about the languages of the birds and the beasts, the healing powers of trees, herbs, and flowers, and the hidden secret of precious stones. So, they learned about the motions of the sun, the moon, the stars, the powers of letters and the mysteries of the square and circle, the transmutation of things and forms of, and the numbers and signs. That is all from the Nazarenes chapter 6. So there are things that are hidden from us that are not put in the Bible because it conflicts with the doctrine and dogma of the church's teachings.
Yeah.
So if you want to really grow spiritually, get into the esoteric teachings. Find the books, find the teachings, and be enlightened, because it's going to take you to a whole nother level. And you are energy. Don't let anybody tell you you're not, that you can't vibrate and do anything, because you are a soul. You can do what you want to do. You are your own person.
Absolutely. So let me add to that comment there. Let's be real. Okay. Can this stuff be used for bad? Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
I like to keep it real, because now I understand the church's perspective. You need to be careful. First of all, you don't really need to be dabbling with anything. You really don't. You don't need to be trying to contact the dead. You don't need to be trying to do, you just need to exist and live here in the present, in the now. You hook up with the dead or the deceased or those when you see them again. So some things you just don't need to be going out doing, okay? Because it's not a natural thing that I would say that we're here for. And with anything you do in life, everything that is according to your will, be careful. Use discernment, choose wisely. Don't mess with something you don't know what you're dealing with. Take baby steps. Take your time and
develop.
Because most of the people who do this kind of stuff are, for the most part, are people that's been doing this all their lives, and they know how to deal with that kind of stuff. And then you got the little heisters, ones that's running the television shows, and it's big business, like you said, and they can do a lot of cold reading and stuff like that. You can make people believe you're telling them what they need to hear, and you can. But you have to understand, and with anything in life, is that really helping me? And is it really helping other people? Is my actions, is what I'm doing, if I'm trying to contact the dead, okay, how is that helping the big picture? How is that helping? Am I growing forward? Am I don't know. I guess it's a personal thing, like all this is, but just understand, just be. That's all you have to do. You don't have to get into all this stuff like that. Take it a day at a time and trust that, life will lead you where you need to go, and that you have everything within you to be the highest version of you. You just have to do it and focus on it,
Right.
So go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, taking it back to this person's comment on it, this person came back from her NDE having spiritual gifts. Mm-hmm. So she has these things that she has come back with, these wonderful gifts, and she's in conflict with it because the church, her belief system through the church, is telling her that this is wrong to be doing, but yet she has all these gifts that she never had before. Mm-hmm. So she's in conflict about it, and I can understand that, but she has to do what is best for her. If she has those gifts and use those gifts for helping others and serving others, don't worry about what anybody else has to say. Be who you are.
Yes, and if you really think about it, and this goes in with what you said, the last part of her question, it says, I feel it's a gift, and churches say it's demonic, and I feel so depressed about it. Okay, I'm far from evil, so why is this gift I have bad in the church's eyes? So, and I like how they kind of close it off. I'm not debating or anything. I'm just confused, So, yeah, I kind of, my heart goes out to this person because,
mm-hmm.
She's really just dealing with who she really is as a soul. However, like so many of us, me included, you and so many people that we know and so many people in the world, a lot of us have an indoctrinated upbringing. A lot of us was raised in some kind of structured, church system or some, religion or whatever. So,
oh yeah, most definitely. And when you grow up with those type gifts, and you're being taught one thing, you kind of suppress that. So,
yeah.
I get it. I totally understand it. So.
Yeah. And you just take it a day at a time, because today's truth will change, and tomorrow your truth will be another truth tomorrow. and all truth is relevant, and that's going to go with you when you die. However, there are the absolute truths out there that nobody can change, and that's something different. So anyway, let's jump right into the comments here. So I think we kind of, my bad, kind of drug out the question there a little bit, but just kind of setting it up for everybody so we all on the same page here. First comment, it says that you have awakened.
Woohoo!
Leave all that nonsense behind. You now know that God is so much more than you were taught. Daphne?
Yes, applaud, please. Hello. First comment takes it to the top. That is beautiful.
Out the park, home run.
Right, yeah. Grand slam and boom.
Yeah, it's all called awakening, guys. You're simply awakening. You're growing spiritually. And when you get to a certain point, even your belief today, it may be with all heart, soul, and everything in your religion, everything. And tomorrow maybe be a different story, maybe a different truth. So, because you're going to grow spiritually, and a lot of people outgrow the church,
Yes, they do.
A lot of people find their higher self and start going more spirituality ways, instead of religious.
That's happened with me. I mean, because I was in and out of different churches, just trying. I would get stagnant. I mean, I just felt like I was not growing through the different denominations, the different groups out there. I mean, and I never felt like I was growing. I couldn't grow. And when I finally got out of the church and started doing the esoteric, the teachings that have been hidden from us, the teachings that weren't put in the Bible, the many different lost books that are out there. And
200 I heard, or over 200?
Yes, I mean, it is enlightening, and I have grown. I feel like I'm growing, having gotten away from the church. I don't feel stagnant anymore.
No, there is that free. That's the reason why it says the truth will set you free.
Yes.
Sorry, it's got nothing to do with Christianity, religion, or the Bible. There is a truth out there. And I'm speaking from experience,
Mm-hmm. When it resonates, and you can't change that.
Yeah, so moving right on along, Miss Daphne, would you like to go ahead and take that next one?
Oh, of course. Okay, so this person says, I think of the religion I was raised in and their beliefs about everything to be akin to how one explains the universe to a third grader, with an intention of expanding on that knowledge, but the expansion, quote-unquote, deck, got lost. I find everything my family believes to be so juvenile. I have had a hard time taking them seriously. Like, have you never questioned this? Does this even stand up to critical reasonings? You're willing to accept this nonsense and not ask more questions? Why? Bravo to you for moving on and expanding. You have so much more to share with the world.
There you go. Nice comment. Let's break that one down. So, what I see here is, like this person says, that they think religion, they were raised in religion, so these are, from experience as well. But it gets you locked into a certain level of growth. He used the example, or she, I don't know, here it didn't say, but this person used the example of like a third grader. You think you're going to grow and keep expanding your knowledge. However, somewhere along the line, that knowledge got lost. Like they used to, the expansion deck got lost along the way. So these people were never able to expand. They kind of stuck at this third grade level.
Yeah, like what I was saying earlier.
Spiritually speaking, I guess.
Yes, like what I was saying earlier about I felt stagnant. I wasn't growing.
You were stuck in third grade.
Yeah, I was stuck in third grade. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying here. So it got to the point. But like this person says here, they get into this mindset that they have the way, and their way is the way, that it is the only way.
Mm-hmm.
And, like this person brings out here, have you ever questioned this? Have you ever really seriously sat down and said, wait, where did this Bible come from? Who actually wrote the Bible? Okay. Not what the Bible tells you who wrote it, but what's the history behind all this? How did we get the Bible? Who is this character Jesus? Did he really exist? Did he not exist? There's so much evidence out there that'll drive a person in either direction. I know I'll walk that walk.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually you're going to have to come to, to conclusions about things. However, but like this person says, have you ever questioned these things? Does it even stand up to critical reasoning? Are you willing to accept this nonsense or, and not ask any more questions? And if not so, then why? So that's where I had to get, I got to a point where some things just kind of didn't start, making sense. I'm like, wait a minute, and then all these little red flags started going off. I'm like, uh-oh, let me go back and check this. Okay. So now things started kind of, that foundation, I was putting so much support and hope and trust. Hey, this is the way I was standing on. I started seeing all these holes and all these things. And I'm like, uh-oh, something's not. And then you start getting that feeling inside. It's a spiritual thing.
Oh, yeah.
To go start looking deeper and deeper into it.
Right. No, I'm going to say this, taking it to the Bible reasoning. Okay. In the Hebrew scriptures, you have the world being destroyed because of angels coming down and procreating with the daughters of mankind, and then their offspring. So the world was destroyed because of that happening. But yet, boom! In the New Testament,
that's how it opens up.
The Creator Himself comes down and does everything that He just condemned and destroyed a world for. Yeah. When you really open up your mind and question these things, you can be enlightened and grow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. A simple, easy thing to think about. You're referring to what we would call the immaculate birth, where they say, that Jesus was actually God's son that came down here and impregnated, his spirit came down here and impregnated a human. She got knocked up and had God's son. The truth is, no, everybody is God. Everybody is God's sons and God's daughters. And
right.
and
we're
this
all
is what
one.
Jesus' character taught. Absolutely.
Right. And that's what I love. In the Yeshua character, he was a real man. Yeah. But he was born of man and woman, not.
Right. And his mother was a virgin, absolutely. And there are many virgin births all over the world daily, However, some women, they get married and may enjoy the enjoyment of sexual enjoyment with their husband before they ever want to do a family or whatever. So if they do have a child, then it wouldn't be a virgin birth. It's really, you'd have to think about it like that. And then you throw yourself in the arena where we're right in the dead center of, Greek gods and Roman gods, and all of these were gods, having sex with women and creating these god sons.
Demigods.
These demigods, thank you.
That's what Yeshua is.
Yeah, that's what Jesus is, But Yeshua is a real person, there is historical evidence in that regard. But let's just kind of set that aside, because that could probably, like I said,
that could be at its own episode,
many episodes, So I don't want to destroy anybody's faith, or but the truth is, question it, And do you really in your deepest heart of hearts know where everything you got your information from, where you got your belief system from, where you got all this, what makes you who you are, and why do you follow a certain religion or something?
Right.
When you get to a point where you no longer need religion, you no longer need books, you no longer need anything that man has produced. And you get tuned back into your original self, your natural, or your nature, your natural self. That's where you're going to find God.
Oh, yeah. And when you can set religion and the dogma and everything aside, for me in my walk, I have grown and expanded so much in my knowledge. My belief systems have changed, and that's part of growth. Your belief systems change on a daily basis. What you liked to eat yesterday, you might not like to eat today. I mean, that is a belief system. You did or did not like it. So we are always changing, always growing, and so be open to that. Don't be so closed-minded about things, because we are all on our own walk, but yet at the same time, we are all connected. We are all one. And Yeshua knew that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he expanded on. He said, you yourselves are gods. You will do greater things than what I have done. So we've just gotten away from that because of the church teachings. Yeah. You're nothing now. But when you can get back to the realization that you are the same thing as Yeshua taught, that you are one with the Creator, you are one with everything else in the world around you, then you can grow. Yeah. Then you can be fulfilled.
Right. And just to tie that in right now, up to date, major scientific discoveries with the quantum world.
Quantum,
You know,
yes.
they have proven beyond shadow of a doubt everything is connected. We're all connected. So you can't get away from that, guys. You have to understand where the indoctrination comes from and where reality is. And find your way back to reality.
Exactly. And that's this person's statement here. She's in conflict with her own being, her own self, because of the church doctrine that she's been under her life.
Right.
So I love the comments in this. She's awakened and, just move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, just move forward.
It's beautiful. Next comment says that because religion is there, let me add something real quick, Daphne.
Sure.
Religion does have positive, but it has its pluses. It is, in a lot of cases, the lesser of two evils. I would rather somebody be in a certain religion trying to find their way, because if they're trying to find their way, they're going to find their way. The Spirit's going to lead you to where you need to go. All of us is proof of that.
Right, yeah.
But the point is, it's just... As long as a person is growing, we always say that. I want to put that out there on this show. We aren't, religion bashers, but you may kind of get a sense of that with this, because a lot of this that we're sharing with everybody here on this show is we're just sharing comments from people who has had near-death experiences and real experiences, okay, and are coming back and sharing uplifting information with this woman who is really trying to find her way spiritually, that has been, indoctrinated by the church. So, the church has its dark side. Let's put that up front. However, there are people throughout history and even today who are religious and do good things, and their religion serves them. And as long as they're serving others, 2 thumbs up.
If you're growing in the church,
exactly,
by all means, continue on that path. But if you come to a place where you feel stagnant and you're not growing, do some deeper research.
Yeah.
And it'll resonate with you what is truth and what is not.
Absolutely.
That's why you were given the Spirit that you are, to help you know things.
And for those of you, for what it's worth out there, is Yeshua, the character... If you want a proper, and I'll give you a little secret esoteric stuff here that maybe a lot of you don't know.
Maybe a lot do.
And maybe a lot do. If you want the proper spiritual perspective on Jesus, the proper thing would be, acknowledging who he was. Joshua would be his English name, okay? Joshua, Yeshua or Yeshua, however you want to say it. Acknowledging that was an individual, a character. And if you want a proper perspective of him, that he is our big brother, or he is actually one of us. He is a human being that has mastered all of his, his challenges in life. And he was able to find the God in him, And however, he learned that along the way by being trained by a lot of masters. Okay,
He knew who he was.
A lot of people don't know this part, But why do you think, there was from the age 12 to the age 30 taken out of the Bible? Well, guess what? This man was traveling the world, learning a lot of the secrets from all the magic and the mystical and the...
That's exactly...
how do you think he was able to go around doing these kind of things, So he was a very highly spiritual man, but the proper view would be he's our brother. He was one of us who was able to share his God, and to let us know that we all have this God in us, you see. So that is a proper view of this character. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have a view where Jesus, okay, now we've got the Greek version of it, Jesus, the Jesus. Now we've got the Zeus, all of the Greek. Now we've got the Greek gods. We've got it. So now the person has been turned into it's a whole different creation. And then when you get into the actual character himself, how it was actually created as the one and only Son of God, and then all of us are pretty much doomed and damned and cursed. We're all good for nothing, sinners. I think that's the word they like to use a lot. You're worthless. you need to be saved. Okay, so this has been pounded into everybody's head for 2,000 years. Of course, you're going to suppress and dumb the people down. But look, what has religion solved the world's issues? Or would you say the world right now, as we speak, 2024, is worse now than it ever has been? It's the worst I've ever seen it in history.
Get religion out of it.
Yeah.
Religion doesn't carry over anyway.
It does. Religion's going to have to get out of it, and people that know the real Yeshua of history, his biggest issue was dealing with religion.
Exactly. Yes. Hello. Do you not see that?
Yeah. This guy was anti-religion because he knew he was dealing with the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all that bunch, and his issues within religion,
Mm-hmm.
But he was oneness, and he did teach the God within. So if you have him as well, he is the only thing, he is the only way, well, then know that you're being deceived. You're not looking at it the right perspective. You're basing your reality on a book. Okay, well, if you're basing it on a book, you need to understand where the book came from. Are you willing to step out of your comfort zone to do the actual historical research to find out where that book came from? Yeah. And if you're willing to do that, and when you start to find out where all your beliefs are coming from and how much this was all influenced by man to control man.
Which ties in with our next comment.
Let's move right on along then.
Yes, it does.
Before I get too far ahead.
Yes, it says because religion is there to exercise power over the people. If people get their own way to access spirituality, how can the church control them? I believe in a God firmly. How can you deny him? He is in everything and everywhere. But I am not religious.
I like that. Yeah, so that person gets the understanding of the difference between spirituality and religion.
Mm-hmm.
So, they said the same thing I was trying to explain a while ago. Religion's there to exercise power over the people. And this is what the real Jesus or the real Yeshua taught.
Yes.
And the oneness. So he said, now, if the people can get their own way to access spirituality, think about this.
Mm-hmm.
How can they control them? Now you see where we have the Bible, and then the character Jesus, how all this stuff was starting to formulate. Look at Constantine, when he had to take over back in Rome, when he was the emperor of Rome. I say the first, but I wouldn't say the first, but I think he became the first pope, or he's close to that. But he's the one that really had a lot of influence in what's today known as, Christianity. Whereas the Jesus or Yeshua, Joshua of history, if he was here today, he'd have no clue what Christianity is.
No, exactly.
He did not teach Christianity. Christianity is not a Jesus Christ religion. Okay? So, anyway, but like it says here, religion was created to exercise power over the people. And now, keep in mind, like this person says, he says, I do believe in what we call God, okay? Firmly, this person says. I know they use the actual masculine pronoun. It says, how can you deny him? He is in everything and everywhere, but I am not religious. I just want to add to that, Daphne. I'm sure you feel the same way. I don't like to use the he or the masculine pronoun anymore because the Elohim that created mankind, right there in Genesis, let us make man our image, or the Elohim said, let there be light. Everywhere where it says God, that was like over 4,000 times where it says God in the Genesis account right there, is in Hebrew the Elohim. The Elohim is plural for the Eloah, okay? The Elohim, according to Jesus or Yeshua in the Gospel of the Nazarenes, is the actual mother and father, okay? God is both.
Masculine and feminine.
Masculine and feminine, but yet not neither. It's both, but neither at the same time. Yeah. So that's kind of one of those things. So anyway, once you understand that God is not a he, all right, God is an all, which is both masculine and feminine. Okay.
Yeah. Read the Conversations with God books. Oh my gosh, it breaks all this down so good. It really does. I have really enjoyed reading these books. I'm all the way to book 3 already and catching my breath on it, processing it. It has been so enlightening. I love it.
It is.
It is breaking down a lot of the stuff that we're talking about.
It all ties in.
That's what I was going to say. It is in harmony, ties in with these NDEs, stuff that I have been reading, you've been reading, we've watched and learned. It is in harmony with every bit of it.
It resonates, and you'll know if it resonates.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
And the Bible and Christianity and Jesus resonates with a lot of people right now. And it may resonate with them from here on out as long as they're doing good in their life and they are walking and learning from Jesus, learning the examples, because he just shows how to walk, okay, and how to talk, how to act. Now, then you're doing what's good. Now, if you got Jesus as your backup guy, and with you with a ticket to go out and do whatever you want, harm others, party, do whatever, sex, drugs, rock and roll, you can do whatever you want because I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. He's got my back. I can sin. I'm a sinner. I'm good for nothing. So it puts a person where
I'm going to go do it.
I'm not, exactly. You're not responsible because somebody else is responsible
You're not
for
growing.
you. You're not growing. And it destroys what the real Joshua taught,
Right.
So let's go ahead and move on. We got time for one more, and we'll go ahead and use that one.
Let's do these next two on
And
this one.
okay, good. We'll go ahead and throw these next two in, and we've got enough to carry on for another episode or two. But we'll go ahead and carry these next two right now, and wrap it up and carry on over to another episode. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right. So in this next statement, this person asks, "So why go to church? It doesn't resonate with your soul. If it doesn't feel right, it isn't."
Ding, ding, ding.
There is no religion in the afterlife. Religion is man-made. Go search for your truth.
Yes. Go search for your truth, people. Don't let somebody else tell you what is true or not true to you, what makes you be you. Don't submit to anybody else. Be you.
And if I may throw in there, we had mentioned earlier about the vibration. Everything is vibration. In fact, vibration is a law of the universe. It's something you can't, it's one of those absolutes. It's an absolute truth. Everything vibrates. Nothing is still.
Yeah, and like with you saying that, even in the conversations book, everything is moving. It may not appear to be moving, but it's moving.
But it's moving
so
it's
in the conversations book, and we're all energy. It's moving at all time. It's all the time vibrating.
It's that vibration. So
yes.
With that thought in mind, like this person brings out, if it does not resonate with your soul, okay,
then why do it?
What does resonate? Vibration. Okay.
Yes.
See, when you are on the right track and your spirit is guiding you, you will have a vibration in your solar plexus
your gut
area.
instinct.
They call it that gut feeling.
Your own intuition.
It will guide you.
Yes.
So just tune into that. And just because your church says it, just because anybody says it, even we say it, don't listen to anything anybody says. Find your own truth. We're just here to share things with you, and find your own way.
If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, let it go without judgment.
Yep.
Just grow.
That's right.
Just be. Like the Conversations book says, just be.
Yeah, just take a sample off the tree, and if it tastes good, eat it. If it don't,
spit it out.
Yeah. Sometimes you may have to eat it. Sometimes you may have to swallow it, whether you want to eat it or not. Sometimes things aren't so pleasant to swallow. The truth is a pill everybody wants, but most people can't swallow it.
Yeah.
Can you? That's the question.
Yes.
All right.
Good.
Last comment here. Miss Daphne, would you mind taking that one, please, for me?
Sure. It says, because from the beginning of time, churches were a way to indoctrinate people into believing and acting in the way that the church leaders thought was a good message, and also for political and social control of the masses. Church is not about spirituality, even though they tout the name of God to give bearing to their teachings. Church is really a club of a sorts. Spirituality is about the universe. Well said.
Yeah. Any comments?
Well said. I mean, I get it. And I see it. The church is not about spirituality. It's about keeping you dumbed down. And this is, don't go outside this Bible. Everything else is demonic. Everything else is going to take you off the path. It's going to lead you to hell. Don't go elsewhere. But spirituality is growing, learning that, you're connected with everything around you. The growth, it'll resonate with you. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, then continue on your path.
Right.
That's no harm, no foul. Move forward in peace and love. Love everybody, regardless.
A lot of people don't know. I heard, but disclaimer, don't take what I'm saying as the gospel, pun intended. But look into it, and I'm only going to throw the comment out there. Maybe I shouldn't comment on it because I don't really know, so that's why I put out the disclaimer. Look into it for yourself. But I think, and I'm pretty sure that even the word church is a sorceress, goddess, some kind of witch or goddess, or it has something to do with some kind of, I don't want to say sorceress, but some church is, and it's pronounced kirk. It's hard. It's the hard. CH is pronounced with a K. It's not ch or ch. It's not the ch. It's the k. CH. It's k. URCH. K. Kirk or something
Kirk.
like that. Yeah, it's pronounced like that. But look into that. I believe it's actually, type in the word church and goddess or something. Does it mean goddess? I don't know. And so I'm not saying it does or it doesn't. So, just little something for you there. People are maybe even wrapped up into something. They don't even know why they're even wrapped up into it and don't even know that it's even called that or where its roots came from. I'm thinking about doing a show on just on the when we're speaking of the church itself. And I'll share these with you, but we won't go into it because I don't know for sure if I'm going to do an actual show about it. But I'm going to do a plug right here, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up.
Tell us an idea about.
Yeah, for an episode, I'm thinking about it. So when you start doing the research on the church, okay, and the Jesus and all these kind of things that the church has created, okay, you would be surprised on the connection with how all of these words are associated that the church created. How they all numerically all total up and come out to 666. Just for what it's worth out there,
What?
What? So let me throw these out there real quick. Okay, hell is a Catholic word. It's a church word. Totals to 666. Lucifer totals to 666. That's the light bearer. Cross, the image or the symbol of Christianity. The cross is Jesus' mark. Also, they also call it the mark of the beast. Cross equals 666. Gospel equals 666. And last but not least, I saved the best for last, Jesus is 666. So I'm going to put a plug there, if
Do your numerology on it.
Yeah, we've got this. I may break this down. We may do a video on it. We may do a podcast. I don't know. But every one of these are creations of the church. I haven't looked up other words that they've created, like, and think about like words like heresy and, all these things that the church has created for the control factor. I haven't even looked in all those words. But these here are all major parts of that religion. And it's just weird, isn't it? So
yeah, it is.
We may do that.
If you really think about and do the research on it, the word heresy, what it originally was free thinking.
Right. If you do not agree.
Your own walk and
doctrine.
belief, yeah. So anybody that believed freely, they stamped out and renamed what the term meant.
Heretic. And once they were accused as a heretic, they had their laws written to where that person can even be condemned to death. And that's where you had, literally millions of people in the Crusades, the Inquisition.
The church was built on bloodshed.
Yeah, literally.
You stamped out the true teachings.
In the name of Jesus, guys. Okay, well, who is this Jesus? So anyway, let's go ahead and wrap things up. Well, like I said, that's something for another episode there. But I just wanted to put that plug in there. When you start thinking about the church and what the church has created, the church is pretty dark. There is that dark side. So don't be deceived. Do your own research. Look into it. And, you'll find your way. And I guess any kind of final comments, Miss Daphne?
Yes, most definitely. Just this person had mentioned the different vibrations and crystals and mediums, the things that brought this person comfort that the church says is demonic. I commented from the Gospel of the Nazarene and from the Conversations with God book earlier. The places in those books that I quoted from is in the Nazarenes is chapter 6 verses 16 and 17, and then the Conversations book 3 page 540 to 545, and that was all on the chakras and the energies of your body. So,
Okay.
yeah, definitely do the research on that. Grow and expand your awareness.
Yeah, so that's the main thing is just keep in mind as you are expanding, every one of us are expanding, hopefully, and you're awakening, and right now we are as a whole are waking up, and it's going to take every one of us waking up, and it's going to take really getting religion out of the picture, believe it or not, because as long as you're contributing to your religion, if your religion is dividing you from others, just keep that in mind. If your religion serves you, that's perfect. But if you got it in your mind that you are the only way, your religion is the only way, your teaching's the only way, your beliefs the only ways, your God's the only way, your book's the only way, you really need to go deeper, okay? So when you get to a certain level of spirituality, you realize that it's not your way, okay? That we are all one, we're all in this together.
We're all God.
We are all God. What we call God, that source, that energy, that life,
God is in everything. And I love the way that it was brought out in the Conversations book. If I am everything and everything is me, then what would be the need for me to try to kill myself and burn myself in this fiery place of torment that you guys have created?
Right.
Why would I do that?
Yep. And the Bible has...
I cannot be where I'm not.
Exactly. To go with that thought, the Bible has even turned him into a wrathful, a God of wrath.
Vengeance,
jealous. And I like how he said, I'm everything. Who do I have to be jealous of? It's only me.
Right, yes.
Or why have they went and created me and turned me into something wrathful? Who am I going to fight? I have no one to fight. It's just me.
Experiencing myself.
When you really get into it and you understand that core life that we call God, that energy, that source that all of us are a part of, you'll get it, Your ego's not going to allow it. If you're functioning through your ego, if I were to tell you, hey, you're God, I'm
you're
God, we're all God. Yeah, if you're filtering through the ego, you're going to feel very uncomfortable. You're going to maybe shout, I'm the devil, or I'm blasphemy, or how can you say that? That just tells me what kind of map you have in your territory, but the map is not the territory, So,
Yeshua even said it himself, you yourselves are gods.
Yeah. And Book of John itself. So,
yep.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys for tuning in today, and we look forward to our next episode together. We'll go ahead and just take this subject and carry it on since it's such a good subject. And I really feel for this lady here.
Yes.
Who is growing and advancing. I've been through that. There is a dark night of the soul that a lot of us are going to have to go through coming out of the churches. I'm not going to sit here and make it easy. It's going to be hard. Yeah, you have
to empty the cup.
Yep, you have to empty the cup. It's called Operation Rewire. You're going to have to go deeper if you want to really know more deeper truths of life, But that's up to you as an individual. If you're okay where you're at, then hey, we love you too.
But when you can expand and grow and know who you are.
Just the level of love alone.
Yes.
When you start to know that you are one with all, you have a different love for everything, even little animals and insects and bugs
each other. You start looking at other people differently.
You do.
You don't see the separation anymore.
That religion causes. Religion divides. It's duality. Right. So that lets you know right there it's not good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, we love you guys so much. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. And may peace be with you all. And until next time.
Y'all let your light shine.
For more information about the NDE World Podcast, visit NDE.world. That's NDE.world.